Have you ever wondered what it really takes to build a new runway in the heart of the UK? Right now, the country is facing one of the most controversial infrastructure battles in decades. And it's not just about planes and airports. It's about communities, the environment, and the future of travel itself. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of the stories shaping our world. Across the UK, airport expansion plans are stirring up emotions like never before. Heathrow, one of the world's busiest airports, is pushing forward with plans for a third runway. It promises more flights, more jobs, and a boost to the economy. But behind those glossy brochures and press releases lies a much more complex story. A story that's dividing communities and challenging the government on multiple fronts. Supporters argue that a bigger airport means a stronger economy. More flights could mean more tourism dollars, more business connections, and a UK that can compete on the global stage. For local councils and businesses, this is a dream scenario. Imagine an airport that can handle tens of millions more passengers a year, connecting London and the UK to every corner of the globe. For a nation that prides itself on being a hub for international trade, the expansion seems like a natural step forward. But there's another side of the story, one that's harder to ignore. Critics warn of the environmental cost, painting a very different picture. Planes are already one of the largest contributors to carbon emissions in the UK, and adding a new runway could make it worse. Residents living under flight paths fear more noise, more pollution, and a disruption to their daily lives. Entire villages face the possibility of being uprooted. Families who have lived in their homes for generations are suddenly confronted with the reality that their streets could be swallowed by concrete and tarmac. And it's not just local communities that are concerned. Environmental groups are calling this expansion a step backward in the fight against climate change. With global leaders pushing for greener transport solutions, how can the UK justify increasing its air traffic at this scale? For many, it's a moral and ethical dilemma. The economic benefits are tempting, but at what cost to the planet and future generations? The debate has also ignited political tensions. Governments change, yet the issue persists. Each new administration faces a balancing act, supporting economic growth while responding to the mounting pressure from climate activists and local residents. Court cases, protests, and public inquiries have become a common feature of the debate. It's a war fought in the halls of Parliament as much as in the skies above London. And then there's the question of alternatives. Some experts argue that instead of expanding Heathrow, the UK could invest in regional airports, high-speed rail links, or even sustainable aviation technologies. Spreading flights across multiple smaller airports could ease congestion and reduce environmental impact. But these solutions are often slower, more complex, and politically trickier than simply extending the existing airport. Meanwhile, the human stories continue to emerge. Families facing the prospect of losing their homes, workers hoping for new opportunities, environmentalists campaigning day and night to protect the air we breathe. All of them are part of this larger narrative. It's a clash of vision versus reality, ambition versus consequence, profit versus preservation. And yet, despite all the arguments, the wheels keep turning. Plans are submitted, permits are considered, and construction proposals are debated. Each day brings new headlines. A protest here, a legal challenge there, a government official speaking out, a court ruling delaying progress. For anyone who's ever flown in or out of Heathrow, it's hard to ignore the fact that the skies and the land beneath them are at the center of a battle that's bigger than any single airport. The truth is, airport expansion in the UK isn't just a local issue. It's a global conversation. What happens here could influence policies in the US, Australia, and across Europe. How do we balance the desire for connectivity with the responsibility to the planet? How do we ensure that progress doesn't leave communities behind? And most importantly, how do we decide whose voices get heard when the stakes are this high? As you look up at a plane crossing the sky, it's easy to forget the millions of decisions, debates, and sacrifices happening on the ground. Behind every flight schedule is a story of ambition, controversy, and compromise. And in the UK right now, that story is far from over. The tension over airport expansion isn't just political or environmental, it's deeply personal. Imagine living under the flight path of a proposed new runway. For many, the prospect of constant noise, reduced air quality, and rising property uncertainty is not an abstract concern. It's a daily reality. Schools report children struggling with concentration under the roar of planes above. Elderly residents face increased stress. Entire communities worry that the character of their neighborhoods will be forever changed. Yet despite these challenges, the promise of opportunity continues to drive the debate. Heathrow and other major airports argue that expansion means thousands of new jobs, from construction workers to airline staff, from logistics coordinators to hospitality roles. In a post-pandemic world where economies are still recovering, these opportunities are powerful incentives. For some, the prospect of steady employment outweighs the environmental concerns, making the issue even more divisive. Public opinion is split, and social media has become a battlefield of its own. On one side, locals and environmentalists post stories, images, and videos illustrating the tangible impacts of airport growth. On the other, aviation enthusiasts and business groups highlight statistics showing increased trade, tourism, and connectivity. The conversation is raw, emotional, and often heated. People are not just debating policies, they are debating the kind of future they want to live in. And it's not just Heathrow. Gatwick, Manchester, and other airports are also exploring expansion possibilities. Each proposal carries its own set of benefits and controversies. The ripple effects reach far beyond the airport perimeter, touching regional infrastructure, housing markets, and local ecosystems. For example, increased traffic on surrounding roads can cause congestion and pollution far beyond the airport itself. Rivers, parks, and protected lands are under pressure from development plans. Every expansion plan, no matter how carefully drafted, has consequences that go beyond what any brochure or press release can capture. Legal battles have become almost as common as flights themselves. Environmental groups are taking the government to court, arguing that expansion plans violate climate commitments. Communities file lawsuits claiming inadequate consultation or unfair treatment. Every victory or setback makes headlines, fueling public debate and keeping the issue in the spotlight. It's a tug-of-war where every ruling has the power to reshape the path forward, leaving the public to wonder, who really wins in this struggle? And yet, the UK's airport expansion saga offers a broader lesson for the world. It forces us to ask difficult questions about growth, progress, and sustainability. How do we reconcile economic ambition with environmental responsibility? How do we ensure that development does not come at the expense of people's lives and communities? How do we balance global competitiveness with local well-being? These are not questions with easy answers, but they are questions we must confront if we hope to shape a future that works for everyone. The stakes are high, and the decisions made today will echo for decades. Future generations will inherit the consequences of our choices, whether that means a world connected by faster flights and global opportunities, or a world burdened by pollution, noise, and lost communities. That's why this debate is about more than just airports. It's about values, priorities, and vision. As we watch this story unfold, it's clear that the airport expansion war is far from over. It's not just a fight over land or infrastructure. It's a fight over what the UK and the world wants its future to look like. Every protest, every court case, every political speech, every community meeting contributes to a narrative that is still being written. So what can we take away from this? The next time you board a flight, consider the complex world that exists beneath the wings, the communities, the debates, the decisions that make every journey possible. Recognize that behind every airport expansion plan is a delicate balance of ambition and consequence. And remember that your voice, your opinion, and your actions matter in shaping how these decisions are made. If this story moved you, made you think, or sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the issues shaping our world. We cover stories like this one from the UK to the USA and Australia, bringing you perspectives that matter and narratives that touch people's lives. Thank you for watching, and next time you look up at a plane in the sky, remember, the story on the ground is just as important as the journey above.